Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I am Captain Foley.
I am Commander Coggins. We are talking Enterprise, sort of. Discovery, sort of.
That's right.
Sort of.
If I were to do Trekyards from a different location, would I pick a different first officer or commander to help me with the show? Nope. I would very likely bring you with me, even if it is via Skype.
It's true.
So the conversation we're going to have today is why on Earth or in space did Pike not bring any of his well-known established crew that he's had for 5 years at least over to Discovery with him? Because there's many times where we've seen, not many times, there's been a few times where we see, a captain go to another ship for a specific reason. They usually bring one or two officers with them, whether it be Tuvok and, Kim or whatever. They go over and do things. Pike brought over an engineer and a science officer when he came to Discovery. Where are they now? Why didn't they stay? I understand that the Enterprise is being repaired.
Well,
so
hold
it
on.
needs its personnel.
Just with clarity, one got smushed by a rock. So, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
That's where he
Yeah.
is. For clarity.
Yeah. He's in multiple fragments. All right. So where's the engineer lady? Is she still on Discovery? We didn't see her in episode 2. I kind of liked her. I would have liked to see her again. So anyway, why didn't he bring crew from the Enterprise over to Discovery with him? At least a few of them, a few key officers.
Now, the disclaimer here is that we don't know if he did, in the sense of there's a full crew. There's people lower decks. We don't know. But we also haven't seen any, and in the context, we feel like that would make a lot of sense, because if you look at the two ships, right? The Enterprise, Constitution class, heavy cruiser, sent on a 5-year special ultra mission, one of the top assignments in the entire Federation, so respected that everyone's in awe every time we hear about it, and so special that they're only going to be brought back to Earth if it's so important. That mission is so important that we're only going to bring them back if it's life or death, and they do right at the end, but they wait wait most of a year. That ship has been at least 5 years by itself, with the crew that's been bonding and becoming really tight-knit and wonderful. And before that, they had Robert April, and we don't know how many of the crew were from that era of command. So some of the crew might be on that ship for like 7 or 8 years, so the crew might in general be slightly older, more experienced. I mean, the Discovery crew isn't a particularly old crew, and we've assumed they were handpicked by Lorca, mostly because he knew a lot of them in the Marine universe because they were all in Giorgio's throne area. I don't know. So he handpicked them because he knows them, so he can control them. So they're not there based on talents, abilities, or whatever. He just picked them for the job, like for Burnham. And then you look at the Discovery crew, much younger. They were given the reins of this super secret spore jumping science vessel, which is very unique, but. Then it was a war, then it was used to fight in a war, then it was taken to the Marine universe, and then it was brought back, and then it was used to almost destroy an entire civilization on a planet, that version of the planet. For 1 year, versus 5 to maybe 10 with the original crew. So why isn't Pike bringing officers that he can trust, that he knows, that are better officers in general over, just to at least a second in command that you can trust to learn the ship and to do things, science officer, engineers in general, because, they've learned stuff on the Connie that might help,
I think I might know a reason.
Yes.
It could be this Starfleet mandated reason as well.
Ooh.
Starfleet selected him to take command of Discovery while the Enterprise is being repaired. And because the crew had been through so much with Lorca as captain, because Pike brings this up in the first episode that he's read Lorca's classified file. He knows all about what they went through.
Yeah.
He is not Lorca. He made a point of saying that to the crew.
Uh-huh.
I think he might be there to strengthen their bond with each other and make them a solid Starfleet crew. Because maybe the Admiralty's like, we're not sure about these guys. They were basically raised by Lorca.
Yeah.
And he was unstable at best. So maybe we need to put a good captain in there and build the camaraderie. Let's have the trust. Maybe don't take any of your personnel over. Just, use them as the team.
Yeah.
Build a good team out of the Discovery crew. That could be one of the reasons. I still think you should bring over 1 or 2 officers, though, at most. just to kind of people you can really rely on should you need to. But I think that might be one of the reasons, actually, while you were talking there, it kind of jumped into my mind that just to build morale, build crew, just build a team.
Bring them into the Starfleet fold rather than the Mirror Dark fold. I mean, we only the 13 or the 11 stories we saw in the Discovery is a fraction of what they went through. We heard about all their battles and killing Klingons. I mean, stuff that isn't the point. They definitely didn't sign up for this exploration ship and hit our front lines just killing Klingons left, right, and centre, blowing up ships very easily, too easily. Obviously, we see in the episodes. But yeah, this crew is not. Force was always the first response, always. So yeah, I can certainly see they're giving a true Starfleet captain's PTSD to help recover.
Yeah.
But I think the most obvious sort of reason, and it kind of works, is obviously the Discovery. In episode 2, Pike doesn't know how the spore drive works. He flat out doesn't. Yeah. He knows it's a thing, but it's not how it works, which implies they're still keeping the spore tech. I mean, you can't keep its existence a secret, but how it works a secret. So therefore, the crew they've got, they already, whoever knows. I mean, you can't. It's a very small ship in terms of crew, not in terms of scale, but crew.
Yeah.
They all probably know how it works, just for pure osmosis of being around each other. And so, if you split up that crew, you've got to teach people how it works, which super secret. Let's not do that. And they're the ones who know how to operate it. Although, again, the spore drive is a very small piece of tech. The spore drive chamber is all you need to generate the spore tech, and it's like 8 people max, and then the bridge, which is a few buttons. So most of the ship has no part of the spore tech. So you don't need that many people to operate the spore tech, and the ship itself is a roughly normal ship in every other respect. But they could be thinking that this crew knows how to use this unique ship, so let's leave them on the ship.
There's that, and there's also the minimizing the spread of knowledge. If you bring over Enterprise crew members, they're going to learn about the spore tech and how it works. And it could be one of the reasons that it's not heard of in TOS, because it was kept kind of confined to the crew of Discovery, and not, the information wasn't passed on through. So yeah, let's minimize exposure to that technology. Just Pike, just you go over. Your engineer went over, but she didn't. She was just involved in the mission. She didn't, because we were disassembling the spore tech at that time. We didn't expect to be using it.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you'd assume that if the ship is not meant to be sporing, then okay, yes, you can. The lab is getting swapped out, so you can assume that okay, maybe whoever they brought over from the Enterprise might instantly go to the spore room and ask questions and learn how it works. But in like 2 weeks, it's not going to matter. You know what I mean? They're not going to see it in operation, although they obviously did in episode 2, but they weren't meant to. But I just think this crew, they only succeeded because the plot needed them to. They weren't specific, it wasn't a crew because they were a good crew. Burnham has plot armor, Stamets is the catalyst, and he does things reasonably easily. Tilly is a genius and does things reasonably easily. Like, there's no sort of... they're not a very good crew, and they're obviously treating quite badly. So I wouldn't leave them in charge of a ship that can, what if one of them has a mental break and says, "Oh, I'm going to take this board tech and go to Kronos and blow it up again"? I mean, they've all seen so much horror in the Starfleet war. Why not trust them with people you can rely on more, like explorers on the Enterprise, who really embody what it means to be Starfleet. Although maybe they've also got problems after coming back for 5 years. Who knows? But I would think that you would reassign a few of them. Obviously Saru wasn't meant to be captain, and why is Burnham still on that ship? It's a plot thing. When you have such a unique ship, it's like if Voyager came home, and then season 8 Voyager went out again to explore the Alpha Quadrant. It's like, well, no, you wouldn't do that. They wouldn't all voluntarily go back on Voyager to another mission in season 5 in the Alpha Quadrant. You just wouldn't do that. So, unique ships when dealing with that sort of situation don't just continue. But obviously don't want to reshuffle the entire cast, because that would be odd. But they put themselves in situations. So yeah, it would have made sense if they brought over a chief engineer of Enterprise. That would have been useful. Mm-hmm. And other things, or just a command crew.
Yeah, and even just a handful of people, maybe like 5. Just even have a scene where they're walking through the hallway and you see one person in a colorful uniform walk by. Maybe that's an Enterprise crew member, or maybe somebody wearing the new uniform. I don't know, but it
Well,
would make sense to bring over a few key personnel.
Well, they should all be wearing the new uniform. We know that. We've already discussed that in a separate video that they're not because reasons. But yeah, I mean, just have a science team. I mean, all the major scientists on Discovery have more experience on Enterprise have more experience than Burnham. All of them, because they're on
the unknown. Yeah,
they're on the top ship of the fleet, one of the top ships of the fleet, and 5 years of exploration. They're all better qualified than Burnham. Just end of story. Spock was on that ship. He's better qualified than Burnham. He had both Vulcan Academy and Starfleet Academy. Burnham only had Vulcan Academy and then hands-on training. Spock actually had both training and experience on a ship. He's a more qualified individual than Burnham, and he did it more gently. He earned his command, whereas Burnham was given a officership and then built through the ranks in a very specific situation with not a great captain, not a great crew. Shinjo, whatever. So it's just a bit weird. I mean, we know that in other shows like with Jellicoe and other things, you don't necessarily bring your whole crew over, fine. But in this situation, I think it would make more sense, especially since he knows it's been more permanent in terms of maybe like a few months, who knows. It just seemed weird to just... I mean, he is sort of abandoning ship. Oh yeah, you guys fix the ship and do nothing for 6 months and I'll go to another ship. Almost... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Well, it almost makes more sense to give him a new Connie. I thought this earlier. It's like, why give him the Discovery? The only thing unique about the Discovery is the spore drive, but they were told not to use it. Now, yes, it's there as a backup, but you were told not to use it. So, why would you give them a ship that is less capable than it's newer, doesn't mean it's more capable. We know the Enterprise are more capable, that's part of the point. So why not give him the Yorktown? How cool that have been to see him, because then then you swap crews and then...
But then you got to get rid of what do you do with the captain of the Yorktown? Buddy, you're not as good as Pike. You need to go to Starbase for a week or 5 or a year.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, that's true.
You'd have to get rid of the captain of the other ship.
Well, that's the thing. And why is Pike? And he was, they said in episode 1 because he's the most senior officer in the area, but the area is 5 minutes from Earth. So.
Well, we still don't know that. I don't buy that. I know how it's filmed and all that, but
yes.
Anyway,
just a discussion to have, guys. We thought we'd bring it up because it's just something we noticed, and it would have been fun to see as an expansion of the universe, and just one of those classic A to B to C. It makes sense. Plot points.
So we would, of course, love to hear your thoughts on this, your comments. Put them down below. What do you guys think about this situation? Should he have brought over some personnel from the Enterprise? Does it make sense? Does it not? Let us know in the comments. And by all means, do the standard. Click subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification icon because we got a lot of great discussions talking about Discovery and many other things non-Discovery related as well for you guys to enjoy on a regular basis. And if you want to help us out, you can do so. And Samuel will tell you how. Well,
you can share what we do. Anyway, you think people will enjoy what we do. That's a big way of doing. Support on Patreon, monthly donation service. Support a one time. Because I mean, the fact is, guys, we spend time doing this, but time takes away from our real. Well, if we have, you have a real job, but I have a sort of real job. But like, we have to take time to do this for you, and you guys love it. So if you can support us to help us do more of this, we want to because we think we do a good service and good discussions, and you guys, a lot of you think of us as friends, even though we haven't met you yet, and we are your friends because. We're all Team Trekyards at the end of the day. So support us with a little bit of money, makes a big difference. One-time donation, monthly donation, buy some swag at Everpress, link down below. Buy an Eagle Moss model, again, link down below. We get some good analytics for that if you get something for yourself, get some money off with the code, and we get some analytics. And, join our lives every week and help us there as well. So lots of ways to help your favourite YouTube channel. If you can, please do. If you can't, don't worry, just share. How was that?
Excessively wordy, but that's okay.
I cover all the bases, though.
Anyway, guys, until next time, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander. Bye, guys.
See you soon.